guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading, we'll be doing the general reading for the month of December 2017. Hard to believe that we are entering the last month of the year. This year certainly seems to have gone by very quickly. Just a couple of announcements before we actually get into the reading. First of all, for today's reading, I will be doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread using the Crystal Visions Tarot deck. I'll pull one additional card from the Soul's Journey Lesson Card deck by James van Praagh. If I need to clarify anything, I will probably use the Sibylla's, or I might use the Shadowscapes Tarot deck. But I will leave all of the information on the decks that I use in the reading in the description box below the video. These are, just to remind everybody, these are general readings for each of the astrological signs. So the messages may or may not resonate with you. The only way that you can really get, a personalized reading that really focuses on you and what's going on specifically in your life is by ordering a private reading. If you're interested in getting a private reading with me, all of the information can be found on my website. That is changingphasestarot.weebly.com. You can also email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. And just to let you know, during the month of December, I will put out, in addition to this general reading, I will put out the mid-monthly reading focusing on love and career and finance. And I will put out one additional video for the upcoming years. That will be a special 2018 preview focusing on the energy surrounding us for each of the months of 2018. And that will be for each of the astrological signs. So be looking out for that as well. And I'm wishing everybody a wonderful month. This is a month with lots of holidays. It's the holiday season. So I'm sending much love and light your way. Okay, give me 1 second and I will be right back with the shuffle. See you in a minute. Hi Sagittarius, I hope you're having a wonderful month. So I'm here today to do your December general reading. Let me put these over here. So I have been meditating off camera and I've already shuffled the cards, but I'm going to give the cards a few more shuffles here. So Spirit, what does Sagittarius need to hear? What are the messages for Sagittarius for the month of December 2017? What are the energies surrounding Sagittarius? What does Sagittarius need to hear for the month of December 2017? Messages for Sagittarius. Fire sign Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear? Okay, that totally fell out there. I will grab that. Hold on 1 second. Cards falling everywhere. Up the card that fell. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so the cards that came out while I was shuffling, we have the Queen of Cups, crossed by the Seven of Cups, and the foundation is the Ace of Pentacles. In the past position, we have, the Unknown. I'll explain what that is in a second. Crowning your reading, you have the Three of Cups, Page of Swords in the future position. You in the reading are the Three of Wands. In your surrounding environment, you have the Nine of Cups. Your hopes and fears, Major Arcana, the Death card. And the outbound energy, the Eight of Pentacles. This card has come out so many times in the same position. It's interesting. And the card at the bottom of the deck, you have the Seven of Swords. I might be clarifying some of these in a second. Let me just go ahead and pull the additional oracle card here. So Spirit, what does Sagittarius need to hear? One additional message for Sagittarius for the month of, okay, that one wants to come out, December. We have my creative power. As I invest in my own creative potential, I experience my female creative genius. This is from the Soulful Woman deck. Beautiful card. And the card from the Soul's Journey deck. We have Spirit, one additional message for Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear? Please show us one additional message for the month of December for Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to hear? Okay. Card is denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. Interesting. Okay, we'll see how this ties in with the other messages here. Give me 1 second to set the cards up, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've set everything up here, Sagittarius, and I think I'll pull some clarifiers. I have the Sibila cards here, so let me pull. I'm being led to pull on the Seven of Swords, the Unknown card, which again I'll tell you what that is, and the Page of Swords. So beginning with the Seven of Swords. So please clarify the Seven of Swords in this reading for Sagittarius. What additional messages can you give us on the Seven of Swords? Okay. Okay, so we have as the first card out on the Seven of Swords, Thief. That's interesting because the Seven of Swords is the Thief card. I'll put this all together in a second. Followed by Young Woman, or Genoveta, right, is the Young Woman. And Morte, right, so Morte is death. And we have the Death card over here in your hopes and fears as well. So double message there with the Death card. Let me go ahead and pull all of them, and then I will and then I think I'll get into the meaning here of the card. So what do we need to know on the unknown? We have Leggerezza, which is frivolity. I'll place this over here right now, and then I'll get to it. Followed by Riunione, the reunion. And wedding. Nazi, wedding. Interesting. And on the Page of Swords, we have Sweetheart, Amante. Followed by Speranza, hope. And Amore, love. Okay, interesting reading going on here for you, Sagittarius. Okay, let me set these down. So beginning with, first of all, the meaning for the Seven of Swords card, we have here, you can see that the man, right, in this deck, it's not as sort of prominent as in, say, the traditional Rider-Waite deck, but traditionally this has the man, he's sort of stealing away with swords in the middle of the night. And so it's that, kind of showing that he feels as if he's getting away with something, right? He's managing to kind of pull the wool over everybody's eyes and get away with something here. The swords energy, this is air energy, right? The suit of swords. And it indicates our thoughts, right? Our intellect, communication. It can also have to do with conflict and resolution. Um, and with the seven, and we have a seven of cups at the center of the reading. It's a crossing card, and we have the seven of swords over here. But the seven of swords is a card of deception. It's a card of opposition. Sometimes it has to do with, acting hastily or not planning well enough, right? And in this card, we can see that the man, he's holding on tightly to his one sword while he tries to grab, the other swords. And then we have the birds kind of flying around, almost taunting him here, right? With the swords that they have stolen. And you see that they're actually carrying away the rest of the swords. So he's trying to hold on to something, so he's feeling quite betrayed or quite defeated here. But it's kind of like saying, just, it's better to cut your losses and move on. And that's also the energy that I'm getting up, the message I'm picking up from the clarifiers. Because, if we start off with, let me put them in the order that they came out. Starting off again with the thief card, this can actually, represent what you would think that it shows, right? So somebody actually not being who they might portray themselves to be around you, right? So this is kind of a warning to be very cautious about the people surrounding you, because some of them are not what they seem to be and are really only out to gain something for themselves. It does have to do with stealing things, but if we can think of what that means, stealing, not just material things can be stolen from us, right? We can have time being stolen from us. We can have, people around us who kind of drain our energy. That's stealing from us in a certain way, stealing our peace of mind. So it's not necessarily that, right? It's not necessarily somebody coming in and actually stealing, something of value from you, but it could be, right? There's a young woman that comes up after the thief card. And usually the young woman it's a nice card. It's it speaks of, as you would think, this younger woman, but she's a very caring individual, right? She's a sort of a person with a very loving nature. Sometimes this can be, female aspects of you or of your mother. Sometimes in a love reading, this can have to do with, a date or a blind date with a woman. Other times it didn't come up in the reverse position. In the reverse position, it can represent kind of temptation and guilt and, not sort of allowing yourself to fall into some type of situation that would have to cause you to lie. So with that coming up next to the thief card, there might be something to do with that and needing to cover something up, right? With this young woman, it might have to do with another woman that you're dealing with, or this could be just you and you having to deal with this, whatever this thief situation is. But whatever it is, with the death card and the death card appearing, over there, I would say that, the message to really just cut your losses and move on is the main message here, right? And just move on. New things are coming in. If you suffered some type of loss, or if somebody did, something a little underhanded or stole in some form or fashion from you, just move on, right? It's not worth you losing sleep over. It's not worth you worrying about, new things are coming in here. And I see that, I see that things that you have been waiting to happen, that you've really, had your sights set on, they're coming in, and there are new cycles, and, and there's new things coming towards the end of the month. So I would say just cut your losses, whatever this was, and definitely, begin this new cycle and move on. Just let go of the past and, and move on here. Okay, getting to the two cards at the middle of the reading. We have the Queen of Cups crossed by the Seven of Cups. So the Queen of Cups, when I'm sorry, I just just lost my train of thought. When we have one of the court cards, thank you. When one of the court cards appear, we know that they can either be people that we are dealing with over this time period, or this could be the energy that you're taking on, or just a situation that you're dealing with. So the Queen of Cups could be, if it's a person, could be an older female water sign. So this would be an older female Cancer or Pisces or Scorpio. Obviously, in the general readings, they are not, it's not really gender specific. So this could be male or female. But this person, she's somebody who is very loving. She's very caring. She's quite intuitive. She's, and the cups energy has to do with our feelings and our emotions, right? Also our intuition. And the queen, she is sort of, she's that loving, if it's a wife, she's that loving wife. If it's a mother, she's the loving mother who's very warm and sensitive and, that kind of gentle nurturer and caregiver. We had the woman here as well. So there very might well be a woman that you're dealing with who is this, loving, compassionate, mother-like figure. And it's been crossed by, what she's been crossed by is the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups, this indicates that there needs to be some type of decision made, because when you have the Seven of Cups, it's kind of like you have all of these options in front of you. Doesn't really show it as well, I don't think, on this card. In the traditional deck, there are the 7 chalices, and each chalice contains something, right? So it might be gold, riches in one, it might be love in another, and it's you just needing having so many options kind of in front of you that you are unable, or feel as if you are unable to make a choice and pick one of them. It is a card of dreams, of imagination, right? And sort of these flights of fancy. And you see that she is riding this dragon here. And we have, the rainbow coming up out of this one chalice. The other chalice is a kind of, positioned all around her. So there, it is a very scattered kind of energy, right? Because there are too many options. She's looking, she's kind of taking in all of these choices, but things are all over the place, right? She hasn't focused on one thing. And so it's a card that reminds us that, when we do live in this dream world, or, try to avoid making a choice or avoid some type of responsibility, it's hard for us to see or have tangible results from that, right? We have to really focus our energies on one thing and work towards getting it, right? So if it's, say, for example, I'm not saying that you can't work on more than one thing at one time. I mean, for example, if you're trying out for a new position, a new job at work, and you're also, back on the dating scene and, doing online dating, you can do both. I'm not saying you can't, but there needs to be focus, right? If you just sort of, if you stay in that imaginary world of just, thinking about how wonderful it would be to have a partner, but you don't actually do anything to act on it, or if you stay in that fantasy world about, oh, I'd love to have that new job, but then you don't get your resume up together and send your CV out to different companies, then nothing materializes. So it's that type of energy, right? You're sort of refusing to really focus on your priorities, focus on, or have a more realistic worldview, right? And kind of grounding yourself a little in order to become more productive. So this could have to do with this Queen of Cups. I feel as though this Queen of Cups is going to be, or it could be quite significant during this month. And it also seems as though, there is something new coming in tied to finances here. So say this was, with the Thief card, and maybe this was, actually, this could have been having a job stolen out from underneath you. Could be that, right? You could have been going out for a position, somebody else was at the same time, and then, the person acted in an underhanded way and was able to get the position. But might be that, it might have to do with finances. But you have as the foundation this Ace of Pentacles. this is Pentacles energy, which is earth energy, right? Which has to do with our material possessions, the things that we have that we are able to buy with the money that we make from our jobs, from, so it has to do with work and business and prosperity. And the aces are big yes cards in the tarot, right? It's usually, it doesn't show it on this card, but typically in the traditional tarot, there's the hand, divine hand sort of extending out of the clouds, extending out of the universe to offer you this new wonderful opportunity. And with the Ace of Pentacles, it's this new opportunity of, whatever it is that you have set your sights on, right? It just means it's kind of showing you that you have the means to reach your goal, right? You have everything you need to manifest your dreams. You have everything you need to prosper while being grounded, right? And I was talking about the need to be grounded here. So while being grounded, right? And it's important to be realistic and trust in the help of other people around you. But this could be this new offer coming in, a new offer of a job, a new offer of, a new creative project, something that's going to bring in some type of prosperity into your life. In the past position, you have the Unknown card. Now, some of you who are not familiar with the Crystal Visions Tarot deck, you might be asking, what the heck is this card? Because it doesn't appear in the regular deck. And what it is, it's an additional major arcana card that they have included in this Crystal Visions Tarot deck. And it comes after the last major arcana, which is number 21, the World. And it doesn't actually have a number, so it's not a numbered major arcana. It's just called the Unknown card. And this card just basically is what it says, right? It represents an answer that cannot yet, or is not yet meant to be revealed. Sometimes it can signify something from the past that you might not fully understand yet, right? Sometimes it can signify something that will happen in the near future, but we're not supposed to know about that yet. So that when it appears in the reading, it does represent that there are steps that need to be taken for you to really get a better idea of what this is, or to gain a better perspective. Moving forward also with a sort of an open mind and also with patience, right? Because we see, let me move these. I'll show you what these clarifiers are, but let me just move them. You can see that she is holding this crystal ball, but instead of it being crystal clear so that she can gaze into the ball and receive the insight, right, and gain this insight that she needs to figure out what to do, or to figure out whatever this is, it's cloudy, right? And you see that there's this very cloudy looking moon at the back of her. And we know that the Moon card also has to do with hidden things not coming, not being brought to light, whereas the sun shines its light on things and brings, really brings things into the light and clarifies everything. The moon doesn't, right? So the moon tends to cloud whatever it might be. And so many times we're asked to use our intuition to, really kind of go within to figure it out, right? When things do appear a little cloudy. And this, the crystal ball is also cloudy, right? So it's unclear. So that's why it's asking for patience, for looking within, right? For introspection. And, if we do that, then the picture will soon be revealed to us. So since this appears in the past position, it makes me feel as though, this is something that happened in the past that you're still, for whatever reason, you're not clear on. Right, you don't know exactly why something happened or what something happened. This could be tied with this Seven of Swords over here. But the cards that came out on this Unknown card, you have the Frivolity card, right? Or sometimes it's the Inconstance card, right? And it has to do with change. And with change comes new beginnings. And it really reminds us that sometimes these changes are not always easy. They might be a little rocky to begin with, but, something is definitely changing at this time, and we need to sort of embrace that change, right? And if change isn't embraced, it can lead to maybe irrational actions or words or negativity. So, it really encourages us to look at at change in a positive light. The second card that comes in is called Riunioni, which is reunion, right? And the reunion card, you see that there is a man and a woman portrayed on the card, and there, he seems to be sort of talking to her, trying to explain something to her, but she has her head turned. You see, she has her head turned to the side. It's almost like she's not, I don't know, she's not really listening to what he has to say. Usually this card has to do with loyalty, with honesty, with love, and with friendship. So, this could represent you. It could be another person. It sometimes, though, it can appear as somebody who cannot easily be trusted. So sometimes it appears as more of a caution, right, when dealing with this person. So there might be some type of relationship that involves trust and loyalty, or just warning you, about trusting somebody, right, and suspicions. And then the last card that came out is the wedding card, which is interesting to have as the last card out on this unknown. So there might be some of you out there who, are dealing with or thinking about getting married. Typically, when this card appears, it predicts a marriage in the near future, can, speak of some type of bringing together, unifying, different aspects of yourself, some type of commitment to something, right? This happy union between two people. And also it has to do with, love and trust and understanding as well. So there's a definite message here of change, something ending. And that came through with this as well, right? We had on the Seven of Swords, we have the Thief. So the problem with trust here, a woman that might be significant, and then the Death card, which is the change. And then again, we have, a change card. We have something that could possibly have to do with, loyalty and trust. And then this card, which has to do, again, with, marriage or commitment with another person. So interesting messages on that. So this might be, something that you have been dealing with, right? Either this, a problem with trust, or somebody, they could have stolen, like I was saying, the peace of mind. So if somebody is lying to you, then obviously it's causing you to worry. And so they are stealing your peace of mind. So it could have to do with that. The crowning card you have is the Three of Cups, which is a very nice energy. It's a very happy energy. Cups, we know, again, it's our emotions and our feelings. And typically, the Three of Cups represents celebration, friendship, gatherings, pregnancies, news of a birth. Sometimes it has to do with news of, like an engagement or a wedding, that type of celebration, news of that. And you have the wedding card over here. So that's interesting. There might be some type of celebration, or that might be on your mind, right? You might have that on your mind during the month of December. And I believe that, for quite a few people, the month of December, or around the holiday period, is a time when, people sometimes decide to get engaged, right? Thinking about getting married in the future, coming up, next year possibly. So that's interesting. In the future position, we have the Page of Swords. Now, again, much like we had over here with the Swords energy with the Seven of Swords, the Page of Swords, it's our thoughts, right? But the pages bring in news of things, okay? So pages of in the tarot, they are the ones who they bring in news, okay? They're messengers. So again, this is a court card. If this is a person, this would be this is a younger air sign individual. So this could be a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. sometimes we think of it because it's immature energy, right? It's young energy. This could be children that could be your children that you're dealing with, or this could just be a younger, say somebody in their teens or in their 20s, a younger type person or energy, not gender specific, right? But with this page, the page could be bringing in some type of very important communication message, right? Because the Page of Swords is a very forceful, very good and powerful communicator. Even though the page is immature, is young, that you can see that she's, and she's surrounded by quite confusing, right? She has all of the birds flying around. She's poised and ready for action. She has the sword ready and, raised, and she's ready to battle. Many times they do bring in news of something or a message that could bring clarity to, something. So with this she's sort of mirroring. And she also looks like the same person. That's interesting. Obviously, she's not wearing the same. I just noticed that. I'm sorry. Let me show you here. I love when I just notice things about the cards. You see how here it looks like almost the same woman, right? But here is a much more, since it's major arcana, it's a much more sort of lush kind of representation of her. But here, she's looking younger. It's like the younger version of her, right? But this is in the past position, and this is coming up in the future. And so she is, and she has, the same ravens kind of flying around. But here she's bringing in news, right? So here she wasn't showing you any news. Here she's bringing it in the future. So that's interesting. Let me put this back. And the cards that we had come out on the Page of Swords. So what this news, what this communication might have to do with, we have the Sweetheart card, and that's the first card that came out. Now the Sweetheart card, this can be the girlfriend, or in a relationship, say the person who takes on that that part, the role in the partnership, or the lady, the wife, right? And so if this is if you're male, then this could be, your girlfriend, or if you are in the same-sex relationship, it could be. But basically, it's just, it would be the female partner, right, in a relationship. The second card that came out is Speranza, which is hope, okay? And the hope card, as you would imagine, like it says, it does have to do with hoping for something to happen, or keeping your hopes up about something, right? And it shows that you have been very patient, and you have put your faith into something, right? Into the future, into some type of positive outcome here. It is a card of waiting. It's a card of, makes me think of the Patience card in the major arcana. But it's also, it does kind of warn you that maybe in this waiting, you haven't been paying attention to other opportunities that were there for you, and there's nothing wrong with being patient, but just don't miss out on other opportunities that might come up, And then the last card that came out is Amore. So we have the love card, okay? And as you would think, this does obviously has to do with love. So, this could mean that there is happiness and love in your life, or coming up, as this is in the future position. So this message, this news, this could have to do with love. So I would say that if it is, then this is a relationship. This is something that you have been hoping for. And with, the Sweetheart card, something that you've been waiting for, this new opportunity, you're hoping for this, and then love, this could very well be communication or message about love, right? And you have, sort of mirroring it over here, you have love as the outbound card on these three clarifiers. Then you have the wedding card here, and then you have the Three of Cups. So there might very well be celebrations coming out for some of you with with weddings, right? Or new beginnings, new romantic beginnings. Very nice. You have, you are the Three of Wands. Now, I mean, that for you, Sagittarius, the wands obviously is fire energy, so this is your energy. But the Three of Wands, it's a very expansive energy, right? And you have the Three of Cups up here, and you have the Three of Wands down here. Three of Wands has to do with waiting, again, much like this Hope card, and it's waiting for some type of return on investment, right? We know that the Two of Wands that comes before it, it's a choice card. So it's the card that asks you to make a decision, choose one path, go one direction than the other. And this, with the Seven of Cups at the middle of the reading, which was also about focusing on something, choosing something. This Three of Wands comes to say that there has been a choice, right? A choice was made here, and this would be more towards the end of the month of December. And now this is you waiting to see, okay, well, now what? Now what happens? And it's waiting for some type of return on all of the hard work and everything that you have invested into that one decision. It's a card of exploration, of possibility. Sometimes it means, partnering up with other people. So in the business sense, it can indicate business partnerships. In the traditional tarot, there's the man, and he's looking out across the sea, right? Looking out and actually waiting for his ships to come in to see what they are bringing back, what riches they are bringing back. So this could have to do with receiving news or waiting to receive news from a distance, from out of state, across water, overseas. But it's an expansive energy, and with the Nine of Cups in your surroundings, your surrounding energy, I would say that whatever it is that you have been waiting to hear or been waiting for, your wishes are coming true. The Nine of Cups is the wish card, right? It's the in the major arcana we have the star card, the wish upon a star, and in the minor arcana we have the Nine of Cups. And you can see that she is blowing the dandelion, putting all of the little seeds, blowing the fluff off of it out into the universe. So this card also reminds us that, whatever you ask for, whatever you have asked for, make sure that it's what you actually want, right? Make sure that you've chosen correctly here. Make sure that it's what you want, because the universe has a way of giving back to you, what you put out there. So if you have put out a wish for this relationship, then be open and be prepared to accept it, because the universe is here to deliver on that, right? But it's definitely a happy card, something that's going to bring great emotional fulfillment, great happiness. Your wishes are coming true. So that's wonderful. And then you have in your hopes and fears, and I think that this is more of a fear. I get that energy, that there's a certain fear surrounding this change that's coming. And obviously, with the Death card, some people look at it as, something that's very negative. I don't see it that way. Much like the Tower card, I don't see the Tower card as being so terrible, because it's, you can never begin something new until you finish what you were doing before that, So there has to be an ending. There always has to be an ending in order for us to set off on a new beginning. And the Death card is all about that, right? Something has to end to give way to change. So this could be a relationship. This could be a chapter in your life. This could just be a way of thinking, right? But it really is, it's all about metamorphosis and growth and changing, right? And life being changed by whatever this new chapter is, right? And renewal. And if we think of, say this does have to do with a new relationship, or the moving forward in a relationship, moving towards marriage, it would be very difficult for you to stay single and keep that single mindset of living, in a bachelor pad, just kind of doing what you want when you want. If you're planning on, moving in, buying a house with somebody, moving into a bigger home, sharing the home with that person, right? You have to change your mindset. So there has to be a change in order for the new thing to begin. So that's really what it's about. And I believe that you're not scared, but you're a little apprehensive, I think, with this new change. And the outbound energy is the Eight of Pentacles. And so the Eight of Pentacles is a card that has its earth energy, and it has to do with, in some decks, it's called the Apprentice card. And it has to do with working very hard to master something, right? So in the work sense, it is Pentacles energy. So if we think of it in the work environment, is working hard to master a skill, right? Being open to, for example, if you need a new job, then it's being open to going back and taking new training courses, or if you want a promotion, it's being willing to go back to university and get a degree or get a more advanced degree. So it has to do with willingness to learn. It has to do with gaining greater expertise in your craft. If you're dealing with creative projects, just, learning more skills, learning something that's going to really, make you a better, or make you better doing whatever it is that you do, whatever, your career is, whatever your creative projects are. There's going to be many different things here for many people, but it's being sort of the best version of yourself. It can also have to do with, self-improvement, right? It can also have to do with needing to work on some aspect of ourselves and needing to, again, this could be in many different ways, but working on ourselves in order for us to become better versions of ourselves. So self-improvement, right? And I think with these two cards that came out, especially the denial card, I think that is kind of tied in with, right, the message of needing to work on yourself, because there is some type of apprehension here to do with this new change. But change is definitely coming, right? Change is coming in, and it's how you face the change, right? Whether you face it with an open mind, or whether you, sort of, or face it with fear and, trying to close yourself off from the change. So let me just read. Usually for these two oracle cards, I read the guidebook description for the card. So let me read first Denial. And this card says, it is time to open up and be completely honest with yourself at the present moment. Buried fears and resentments do not die. They merely fester and cause disease. Only by bringing them to the surface and examining them in the light of day with love and compassion will you banish them from your life. It may bring you pain and heartache to reflect upon these situations again, but you are only giving them power by suppressing them. The dangerous seeds of denial will grow and spread and manifest unless you uproot them, examine them, and release them. This is the only way to become whole and healthy. Learn not to bury painful emotions in the first place. Deal with them as they come. And take all the time you need to neutralize them without hiding them. Your soul wants to live honestly and authentically in the now. Don't hinder it by placing emotional landmines on its path. And that's interesting because with it talking about the, the buried fears and resentments and bringing things to the light of day, it made me think about this unknown card in the past. So I do feel as if there is something that, there's something that you need to work on, some part of yourself that you need to work on to become more open to these new things that are coming in, okay? And the other card is number 4, My Creative Power. And this card says, sorry, my phone, I apologize. I'm sorry, let me go back to here. So card number 4 says, my female creativity and genius are endless resources that I'm only just beginning to tap into, explore, and develop. I am bursting with ideas and visions. I am a passion storm of creativity, eager to live my dreams and transform my life and my world. I am stepping out and making my mark in undreamed of ways, birthing from the creative fires of the unleashed feminine. I am waking up my gifts and talents as well as to the contribution I can and will make to the future of my world. It's time to express my creative potential and power. And I definitely get that, right? From what I was talking about with the 3 of Wands and the expanding on whatever you have been working hard at. And I'm also drawn to on her forehead, right? And needing to tap into your inner knowledge, right? I think that that's also going to help you as you move through this. Um, but just, working on yourself in order to explore whatever these new things are that are coming in. But again, there's a need to choose something, to be more grounded, focus on whatever this new thing is, be open to receive it because change is coming in. But ultimately, I mean, I think that you have a lot of beautiful energy surrounding you, right? There's very happy energy. Wish is coming, being fulfilled during this month. So it looks like a wonderful month for you, a wonderful last month of the year, Sagittarius. So I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. Please do, once again, check out during the month of December, I'll be posting my 2018 overview reading for the upcoming year. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light. Bye.